Okay, welcome back to episode 3 of my Age of Wonders 3 Tier 1 Orc Spearman only challenge, where I'm only allowed to use Orc Spearman in battle, and I must defeat 5 allied Emperor AI opponents. I told you I would check in every several turns or so to record an episode, and things have been pretty slow so far, because when you only have Orc Spearman, there's only so much you can do. It took me several turns to get in a position where I had enough Orc Spearman where I was comfortable doing certain battles. So I started out by exploring without doing much battling, just to get a sense of what's around. I know I need to clear that. And I took my hero this direction because I know I need to hide him up in a corner. There's water here. Hopefully it's water up in here. Hopefully there's no spawning camps here. I'm not seeing any cave entrances, which is good. So I'm gonna pop them up here. I need to at some point do seafaring, which I don't have yet. So you can't get on the water, but I'm gonna explore a bit more, make sure there's no spawning camps, and just hide up here on the mountains, and then eventually on the water once I can do that. But yeah, because with the restriction, if he gets in battle, then I automatically lose the challenge. So he can never be involved. So that's why I got to hide him, so he's never in battle directly. What else do we need to talk about? So I produced a builder's hall right out of the gate, and I've just been pumping out Orc Spearman. Simple as that. We've done some battles here, which I'll recap in a second. You can see got some guys and starting to put some levels on a starting core army here. Met this town, met this town, met this town, met this town. So if they're Orc, I want to get them as vassals and then have them join. If they're not Orc, I want to defeat them and take them over usually. So all the races are going to be pissed with me because I'm always going to be migrating anything I get, with the exception of dwellings, of course. I'm going to be migrating to Orc because I need to produce Orc Spearmen out of everywhere, basically. So that's what I'll be doing. Let's see, what's the earliest battle we have on tap? Okay, so you can see how this sort of thing goes when you just have Orc Spearmen. We talk about technologies too. So I'm looking to do a split, which is successful. Lucky is in my. Everybody hates halflings. That was not very efficient on my part. So I'm going to be I'm doing a lot in this campaign, sapping movement. So doing enough attacks, spreading out the damage so they have no more action points, so I can control who takes damage. So I'm taking all the damage on my turn, right? I can just kite them around that stone, take them out. Again, can take a few hits. There we go. And then just continuing to kite. So that's all that's interesting about that. Victory Rush is good because you get the plus 10 HP every time you win. That was this battle. And you can see what I've researched. I'm always declining, new heroes, of course. Warfare, because it's got to get the summoning going. 1, 2, 3 raised militias. So 3 of these have been summons. So here's the battle independence of loss. So they attacked me. That's not a very interesting battle to review. And then this one, sloppiness, but I'll show you it briefly. I really shouldn't have lost this unit, but I am still getting used to primarily just using these super crappy units. You can see how I was trying to do setup. It's getting close to round 5, and so I'm like, okay, we've got to put in some damage. So that was my miscalculation, because it opened him up to 2 melees, and it was the person who did the melee attack. So just poor planning on my part. This, I think, is pretty straightforward. Yeah. A lot of damage against Orc Spearman. Which, by the way, on a plain Orc Spearman, 38 hit points. Well, actually, this is debuffing them. So this is not a good example battle to look over, but we'll exit out of there. So just trying to not lose units like I did there. But I think that's all we're going to talk about. So I'm continuing to do raise militia stuff. I'm really focusing on the Explorer Empire upgrades because they're just so good, because they're going to benefit my irregulars. So my irregulars getting mountaineering, forestry, and wetlands walking is super helpful, since I'll be not walking on roads a lot of the time. So I'm really prioritizing that, but I see a bunch of other juicy things that could be really useful. So we get this eventually too. So that's where I'm at. This has been episode 3. I'm here in turn 9. I will see you in episode 4.